Welcome back, everyone. This video is about ostinatos. And I know this is something a lot of people are excited about, and some people are quite confused because it basically just means something that is just repeated over and over, a pattern that is repeated over and over through the composition. And we're going to be both looking at very neutral, static ostinatos, but also more melodic and harmonic ostinatos as well. So what I mean by that is that you have certain ostinatos that kind of just play whatever the harmony is doing. Or maybe it's just like an octave. Something like that. Or maybe you have something that's more melodic and following the harmony, so something like that. It's still like a pattern. And they all have different effects. So I'm just going to go through the basics of them, and basically your job is going to be playing around with each of them and finding out what's the best approach for your track. There's no right or wrong choices here. And your intuition for what's the right way to go is going to just be stronger and better for every track you make. Let's just use this example right in front of us as the example here. For this example here, I don't really feel the staccato strings are a good fit stylistically, so I'm going to use just a piano. And as you might know, this piece is in the key of C major, so let's start with a neutral ostinato. And by neutral ostinato, I mean something that is not really following the harmonic development of the key. It's basically just doing its own thing and being very neutral, meaning that any chord under it work. So in this case, as you might have guessed, you have the kind of perfect intervals, the octave, root, and the fifth, for example. So whatever chords you play under here are going to work. They give a very kind of dreamlike effect, especially when used in piano or something like that. So let's just do something very simple, because remember, ostinatos don't really have to be very complex. So this theme goes like this. So let's just play over it and see what that sounds like. As you see there, I was actually moving it sometimes just because I wanted to follow certain parts of the harmonic development. But as you can see, I'm mostly just playing this octave. That's as simple as you can go. Or you can just use one note as well, but you get the point. Now, let's do something that's a bit more moving. This is a very common ostinato. Let's see what that sounds like in piano over this theme. And let me just quantize and copy that just for time saving sake. This is a triplet, by the way, and then boom. Hopefully this is gonna work out. Here you can hear that's kind of clashing a bit, so I would probably do as I did in the last example and change this C to the B, which is in the chord. and so on. And you can just kind of tweak these to fit the harmony better. It's all about just trying things out. So that's an example of a neutral ostinato. Now, if I want to use the same example but do something that follows the harmonies more, I could do something that's more like this. Well, we have F. We have key. Oh, it's getting late here. It's 10 p.m. My brain is just shutting down. Sorry for that. We got C major. And then F. Major 7. So I could do... something like that. Doesn't really matter. I would just like, have fun and try stuff. Don't overthink things too much. I did some mistakes in there, but you get the idea. Let's move over to the other little cue right here, which I think might be a better example. So let's just listen to it. Okay, neutral ostinato strings. Let's use the same one just so you can listen, because it's probably better fit for this one. It's really fast. It's kind of heavy to play that, especially with the latency we got going on. But looks like it kind of worked. Let me see. I'm just gonna do this here. There you have a neutral ostinato. Now on this one too, we can try something that's a bit more melodic. So we have these chords. So a melodic ostinato needs to, or would, ideally kind of follow these chords. Something like that. And here the inversions come in as well. You can play around with that. And most important thing is that it just follows the chords and that you repeat some kind of pattern. So it doesn't become too busy, because that's something we're going to talk about later as well. You want these ostinatos to be repetitive enough that they kind of fall in the background of your attention. So the melody and the counter melody are the main focus points in your composition. So try to keep them kind of simple. So for example, sticking to this rhythm. Because then kind of your brain goes like, oh, I know what's going to happen here. And it becomes more filling material, which is kind of what you want it to be. You want it to drive the piece forward and kind of give it a bit more substance, but you don't want it to take away too much attention from the most important parts. So now let's just take that pattern and make it follow these chords. And so on. Now, this is just one pattern. Let's try another one just because we can. Let me try something that's quite complex to play, but it's really fun. Now it's a bit more wild, but it's also quite fun. It might sound quite cool if you pull it off. I'm not gonna like try to perfect it. I just want to give you an idea of different ways to do this. And so on, very sloppily played because it's getting late here. and the latency is driving me mad, but hopefully this is giving you a bit of an idea of the different possibilities you have. Now also, let me just go all the way back to the simplest forms of motifs, ostinatos. Just a single note. Let's just do C, because even that is going to give it a bit more momentum, which is kind of what we want from an ostinato. And so on, you know. Hopefully that's going to give you a few ideas for different things that you can do. So let's kind of recap really fast. First of all, you have, hyper minimum ostinatos, which might just be 1 or 2 notes. Or stuff like that. And then you have all these motifs, ostinatos that are just neutral in the way that they don't really identify with any key or tonality. For example, those kind of things. And then you have ostinatos that are following the keys. Or they all have different effects, and I would just encourage you to try different ostinatos out for each theme that you write, because it's kind of hard to know which one is going to be the best fit before you try it out. So try out something that is super minimal, because sometimes less is more. You don't need something that's super in your face, and just a little might be everything you need to drive the piece forward. Other times you need something that's a bit more, and that can be a neutral ostinato or something that's outlining the harmony, and so on. And I encourage you to try out all of them, and I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video.